How do you sort out the so-called jargon from real-world practices that work? Do the members of your organization find some business or technology advice utterly confusing? Welcome to Real Talk with Sam Holcman. In this program, we set the record straight, and in terms that business people and technology people can understand. Now, here is your host, Sam Holcman.
Welcome to this edition of Real Talk. I'm Sam Holcman, and thank you for joining me. And today's podcast is on the topic that is on people's minds really front and center, and that is artificial intelligence and what we're hearing from the artificial intelligence experts and the risk that artificial intelligence poses. So what I did was I went back and looked at one of my favorite movies of all time, and it really is, and that one is 2001: A Space Odyssey. And for those of you that have saw the movie or remember the movie, or some of you may have not, the main character in the movie is a computer, an artificial intelligence computer called the HAL 9000. And it was a fictional artificial intelligence character in the book and in the movies that was there. HAL actually stands for Heuristically Programmed Algorithmic Computer. Heuristically Programmed Algorithmic Computer. I remember when I first saw the movie, people told me that HAL was simply IBM with one character removed from each letter. So the I, H, B, A, M, L. I said, okay, I didn't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know if that was by accident or otherwise. I don't know if Arthur Clarke, when he wrote the book, was thinking that way, but I thought it was kind of interesting. So HAL became operational in 1992, and it was production unit number 3. Now, in the screenplay, it moved to 1997. But what was fascinating about HAL, the computer, it was, of course, part of the Discovery 1 spacecraft doing an interplanetary mission, and it was able to do speech synthesis, speech recognition, facial recognition, natural language processing, lip reading, art appreciation, interpreting emotional behaviors, automated reasoning, spacecraft piloting, and, of course, playing computer chess. Sounds pretty familiar with what we're hearing, today. And if you remember the story a little bit, for some reason, as time progressed, HAL began to malfunction in very subtle ways. And it really came through the chess matches where the computer should have not lost. And it started doing chess moves that were a little strange to the human beings that were playing chess with the computer. And so the decision was made to shut down HAL in order to prevent more serious malfunctions on the ship. And those of you that knows a little bit about the story knows that HAL said, I don't think that's a good idea. So it decides that it's going to kill HAL, the computer is going to kill the astronauts in order to protect and continue HAL's programmed directives. In other words, it was taking certain orders about this. So if we look at today's world and today's concerns about artificial intelligence, about the risk of extinction, there's a parallel that we see here. And so even more recently, there is a call by companies that actually developed some of this, and countries, United States and others, to establish an agency to regulate AI. I wish that would be something that would cause some positive actions, but I don't think it's going to. This may not be comfortable. Look how well that works in wars and in border conflicts and the problems with illicit drugs and border crossings and illegal immigration and conflicts between countries and conflicts between religions. I can go on and on and on and on. I don't think that an agency, government or otherwise, the United Nations, another one, they're all fine ideas and they do have a purpose. But passing a regulation to address the extinction possibilities of AI isn't going to do it. So what can we do? Well, what we can do is to figure out that artificial intelligence is an engine, and what's feeding that engine, the fuel, is data. Using bad data is going to possibly produce bad outcomes. Using good data could actually help us from a societal standpoint. And being a little bit more close to home for you in business and enterprise, using good enterprise or good business data may help. So we have to recognize is the old phrase, two-edged sword. AI is there. I don't think a regulation is going to help very much. People say, well, it can't hurt. I don't know. I'd rather spend the money to figure out how to harness that tremendous engine by using data that can help you and I and society better. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk. Be sure to join your host, Sam Holcman, again for another edition of our program. We'll have more real topics of discussion then.